in styles, a contrast in sizes. We're really seeing it here. Morgan and Abyss, and it looks like they're not exactly on the same page right there. I don't think Morgan too thrilled that he's not in this battle at this point. Morgan and Abyss going to use that raw, pure power and strength on the opposite side. Lethal Consequences. They're going to try and stay one step ahead of this team, try and use their high-risk offense, speed, and agility.
Well, they're going to have to. I'll tell you a look, and you see the respect. There's something you would have never seen from Abyss before. That's when you stole Matt Morgan. Hear that? You don't shake his hand. That's not what this is about. Abyss, we saw a glimpse of it when him and Matt Morgan were eye to eye after Genesis. We got to see him snap. I mean, I just feel that way. I want to see the monster come back out. He's got to control it, but I got to see it.
Boy, nice handspring into the elbow. Machismo goes with the flying forearm shot. So difficult to take down this monster at 6'8", 350 pounds. From the top, the double sledge to the top of the head, and Abyss is still standing.
That's the thing. It wears you out trying to take him down. I mean, that's what. What a defense that is. You hit him on everything you got, and then he presses up into the lights. Pretty good.
Lethal crashes down, and here comes Abyss to the corner. That's the speed that we talked about. He goes directly into the corner turnbuckles, and Consequences. Creed tries to come in, take advantage, but no. He gets overpowered to the far side, and here comes the blueprint.
Matt Morgan now this is what you've got to do, what Abyss and Matt Morgan are doing right now. Tag each other in and out, keep each other fresh, use that size and power to keep these guys grounded. I mean, that's what it's all about. How about that kick by Creed right to the knee of Matt Morgan to try to bring him down to size, and now pounding on the head. But the thing about it, Morgan's still on his feet.
Series of shots by Creed. Drops down, does the splits, and look at that carbon footprint. That thing is deadly. When we return to Impact in HD, we'll find out who gets the tag title shot against Fear Money and Against All Odds. And we are back on Impact. More of this #1 contenders tag team matchup. What you just saw from the Monster Abyss extending his hand in is what we have seen during the entire commercial break. I've been watching these two. I've been watching the body language. Abyss wants to get in, and Matt Morgan doesn't want to tag him in. You mentioned that at Genesis, Matt Morgan, well, it looked like, I had a chance to talk to him, and I can tell you he felt that he didn't get enough of an opportunity to win the tag team titles for his team, and as a result, he's not tagging in his partner. He's going to try and put away Lethal Consequences, and Creed almost taken out right there.
Well, he just doesn't want to be on the sidelines. He doesn't want to be on the sidelines and lose this thing and have something happen. It's just, like I said, something always goes wrong with him and Abyss, and now he does tag him in, but it was forever as he wanted to do it on his own. But the thing about it, Creed, Lethal, they're just not ready to go down.
Nice strategy by Morgan, taking Creed over to the corner and ensuring that he wasn't able to go to the far side and to tag in Lethal. But as Abyss charges in, Creed got the boot up. Clothesline missed, and all of a sudden, the fresh man's in. That can't make Morgan happy.
Well, I'll tell you what, nice kick by Lethal to send Morgan down, and nice kick to the knee. And now, look at this. These guys are becoming a great combination. As you can see, the two of them working together well. And that's what you got to do on a man that size. And double suicide dive on the blueprint.
That's one way to exploit the advantage that they have. As we take another look, check out this double suicide dive.
I'll tell you what, they duck the clotheslines from Abyss, and both of them shoot right through the middle ropes and take out Matt Morgan. And now they've got an incredible opportunity to take out Abyss. What a drop kick! Pistol drop kick on the top. 1, 2. Oh, man.
Lethal from one side, Creed from the other, and they almost put away the monster that time. Morgan rolls back in, turns his attention to Creed. Creed springs off the rope. Morgan's going to take him up high and throw him overhead. Meanwhile, did you see that? Abyss took Lethal and powered him right down onto Morgan.
Well, he thought the Creed was going to land him. Wow, and you can see the victory. As the count, Matt Morgan's shoulders were pinned, and they got it. As Lethal was just laid on top of him.
Here are your winners, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Consequences, Creed.
And as a result, Lethal Consequences become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And at Against All Odds next month, they're going to be Fear Money
be upset with Abyss because, again, he cost him. Oh, he just pie-faced Abyss. Maybe this is good for him. Maybe they need to just get this hashed out so they can work things out.
I'm not sure. Oh, Abyss was like boiling over and then turns and Morgan answers with a shot and a punch. And finally we get referees, we get security in here to try and separate these two big men.
Man alive, it came to blows. I mean monstrous blows. I mean, you know why Matt Morgan's frustrated. You know why Abyss is frustrated. And now they're taking it out on each other. And look at this, as Abyss goes after Matt Morgan. Wow.
Impact Zone fans roaring, let him go, let him go. And Abyss broke right through security. They're holding Morgan back on one side. Then here comes Morgan through.
Look at him, I mean, he just leaps so high, able to jump over the security guards as he's pounding on Abyss and they pull him back. Matt Morgan just throwing haymakers. Abyss trying to break free.
Morgan and Abyss on the losing end of what could have been a potential shot at the tag titles, and here they go again.
Abyss able to break through 5, 6 people, and he goes right after Matt Morgan, and again, they get a hold of him and pull him apart.
They've got to get him out of this six-sided ring and get him to the back, and here goes Abyss again.
It just won't stop. I mean, that's the kind of Abyss we remember. The focus on only one thing. And now, that's crushing Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan fighting right back, not letting up.
Let's send it back to JB with Jim Cornette and the Main Event Mafia. Wow, that was out of control. Their relationship as tag team partners can best be described as volatile and unpredictable. Let's look at the history of Matt Morgan and Abyss. Result, Lethal Consequences become the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. The video package that we just saw illustrated the ups and downs of the partnership and the friendship between the Blueprint Matt Morgan and the Monster Abyss. And after looking at the facial expressions, the body language of Morgan, it leads me to believe that the Blueprint has an awful lot of things going through his mind when it comes to this situation with Abyss. From the very moment that Abyss joined forces with Matt Morgan, we have sung their praises as a tag team. The numbers do not lie. Both men over 300 pounds, both in the neighborhood of 7 feet tall. There's no denying they are the most physically imposing team ever assembled in TNA. But when it comes to other issues like communication between the two, they have been severely lacking, and as of late, you can tell that Matt Morgan is running short on patience.
You know, Mike, we've always used that word chemistry, and for some reason, these two just seem to lack it when it comes to working together. And you know what? None of us were surprised with how things ended last week. You could feel that tension, and you just felt these two were going to come to blows.
Matt Morgan, Abyss, last week after your match on Impact, there was some serious tension between the two of you. And Matt, it's no secret that you do have somewhat of a temper. You just took out your patience on Abyss.
Well, Lauren, I don't think it's any worthwhile secret here that Matt Morgan has a pretty bad temper problem. This, my temper, has been my Achilles heel my entire life. I I've lost out on an NBA contract, an NFL contract, half of my pro wrestling contract incentives due to my crappy attitude. But to be honest with you, Lauren, more important than all that, I probably just lost my best friend last week due to my attitude. So, the reason I came out here, Lauren, and I wanted Abyss to come out here is because as a man, I think I owe you a big apology, and I'm a big enough man to admit when I'm wrong, Abyss. You had nothing to do with what's been going on between us. It's my fault. I have a bad temper, okay? It's on me, not on you. So with that, the only thing I can do is beg for your forgiveness with this, Abby. It's starting tonight, Abby. Let's put this behind us and move on. Because I still believe with every ounce of my beating heart that we will be the TNA Tag Team Champions. So for tonight, big man, what do you say that tonight we just settle for beer, money's blood? I'm sorry, Abby.
Matt Morgan takes the blame, and Abyss accepts his apology. They're going to need to be on the same page tonight against Beer Money.
It's okay, Matt. I accept your apology. You know, Matt, I have a bad problem with my temper, too. After all, that's why I go to therapy. But Matt, maybe from here on, you and I can start going to therapy together. I could talk to my therapist and see if I can get that special 2-for-1 discount coupon. How does that sound, Matt?
Yeah.
Lord, it's a glorious day. I've gotten my whole family back. I have my best friend, Matt, back. I have my girlfriend right here standing next to me, Lord.
Whoa, easy, Abyss. Don't black hole slam her.
I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Fine, Abyss. I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Up next on Impact, Abyss and Matt Morgan against Beer Money Incorporated in a first blood match.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a non-title first blood match. Making their way to the ring at this time, accompanied by Jacqueline, are the TNA World Tag Team Champions, Cowboy James Storm and Robert Roode, Beer Money Incorporated.
Beer Money Incorporated regained the TNA Tag Team titles back at Genesis, and then last week on Impact, Consequences Creed, Black Machismo Jay Lethal earned the next title shot by winning the #1 contenders match. Tonight, it's non-title, and here we go as Abyss and Morgan meet him on the ramp.
Well, you can see Abyss and Matt Morgan trying to work together, and they're starting off well as they meet those guys early on and take it right after them. Keep in mind, first blood match. If you bleed, you lose.
And you can see that we have referees around the ring with towels in their hands to make sure that they will be on the spot in case there is blood right there. Robert Roode goes face first into the steel steps on the far side of the arena. You see Matt Morgan beating down James Storm.
Well, that's how you got to do it. Use the rail if you can. Use the steps. I mean, anything that you can think of that's sharp, hard, like that wall right there as you see James Storm go flying into it from Matt Morgan as they're going to check his head to see if he's bleeding it. Here goes Morgan. Oh, Storm gets out of the way.
Well, you think about the history between Beer Money Incorporated and the Monster Abyss, and I think Beer Money is as guilty as anybody for driving a wedge between these two. How about Storm coming flying from out of the crowd crowd, and we're going to take another look.
Well, here you see it. You can see where the carbon footprint goes straight into the wall, and then James Storm off the top of that same wall right onto Matt Morgan. You know, you mentioned that, Mike, and that is true. I mean, think about it. They've known how to get in Abyss's head from the beginning. I believe it's always been beer money that's kept Abyss confused. It's caused Abyss to make the mistakes that have cost him and Matt Morgan matches. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they did it with the alcohol. They smashed so many beer bottles on his head, and they're always one step ahead of the monster.
Keep in mind the object of this match. It's not to pin your opponent. It's not to make him submit. It's to make him bleed, because you bleed and you lose. Check out Morgan trying to rearrange the face of James Storm.
This is a great match to experience live here in Orlando, Florida, because you feel the excitement as these guys fight through the crowd. And if you want to find out how you can be a part of TNA Impact, go to TNAWrestling.com so you can find out how you can come to Universal Studios and be a part of this awesome action.
Think of this. If Robert Roode hits Abyss with this chair, he could open him up. Instead, Abyss turns around, and you see that big right hand directed into the steel chair, and the chair went right into the face of Roode.
I think the flat side of the chair, though, went into his face, so it wasn't enough to cut him open. Oh, man. James Storm caught the rail right there from Matt Morgan as he's still beating on him, and now you see Abyss setting that chair up. And if he can put Robert Roode face first to that chair, it's a good shot to cut him open.
Could be the decisive blow. Instead, Roode able to get the boots up as Abyss comes at him, and then from off the middle rope, Roode snaps Abyss's neck and powers him down to the mat.
Well, he uses that to just get him confused, to kind of take over, now pounding him, just taking those knuckles and driving him into the forehead, and he's telling him to look as he's trying to split the skin with the knuckles as he does it, but Abyss not broken open.
Yes, Rudy Charles with the towel in hand, checking to see if Abyss was opened up. That's not the case. Off the knife edge chops. Rude going to try and send him off and into the chair. Instead, the reversal, and oh, Abyss just put that baby right through the uprights.
And here he goes, and he smashes him, and this could do it. As Robert Roode caught it, you see Abyss pointing. Rudy Charles looking. We got to see this again to see the impact of his face. There it is, wham.
But as you heard the audio from Rudy Charles, he said nothing when he checked with the towel. Rights, lefts, series of elbows has Storm in trouble in the corner, courtesy of the Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
I'll say one thing, this is the four hardest-headed guys I've seen in a ring at any one time. When you think of some of the shots into the steps, into the chairs, and they're still able to keep from bleeding.
There goes Abyss. Directly into the steel guardrail. Morgan able to turn around on Storm. Clothesline miss. Storm goes for a crossbody, and the Blueprint catches him in mid-move. Championship belt in hand. Robert Roode just hit Matt Morgan right between the eyes with that title belt.
Oh, that could do it there because there's just so many edges on that title belt. It's the perfect weapon to use. As you see Matt Morgan trying to hide just in case, but you can't. Rudy Charles looks it over and again. Nothing. Unbelievable.
Beer Money turns around. Abyss takes Storm and Roode both down with a double clothesline. Now, he's got James Storm in the corner, and here comes 350 pounds, and Storm just sidestepped him.
But this time he takes Storm up over, but Storm lands on his feet. Nice kick to the back of the head.
Boy, Abyss goes down after the kick from James Storm. Storm gonna wait for him to get up. You know he wants to hit him with that last call.
You can just see him just prancing on those feet, trying to set it up to hit it perfectly. And there he goes, but Abyss waiting for it, catches it, got him throttled. Whoa, what a choke slam.
Power move by Abyss, connecting with the choke slam on James Storm. And the monster surveys the ringside area, drops down. I think he's going to try and come over here, and he's looking for a chair. He's looking for some kind of a weapon.
I'll tell you what, he just forces some guy out of his seat, grabs the chair and brings it back into the ring. This is his opportunity. Think about what a chair being crushed on you from 350 pounds will do. That'll bust you open. Robert Roode, though, behind him. Oh, it takes out the leg.
Clipped him, took out his knee from behind with the chop block, and now putting the boots to Abyss. That could have been the decisive blow in the match, that steel chair shot by Abyss, but Roode saved his partner. Another double team move here by Beer Money with the suplex.
Well, working together, and it's what Beer Money does so well, as they just really do read each other's minds, and they just get better and better week after week. And now they're doing the double team situation on Abyss, but again, Abyss still alive.
And again, it's not about pin or submission. It's about making your opponent bleed. Storm gonna hold the head of Abyss. Rude's got the steel chair, but Morgan slips in from behind.
He just takes the chair right away and goes to swing at Rude, and he moves. You can see Storm moves, and now Matt Morgan just eyeing them both up, trying to get Abyss to his feet. Who's he gonna go after, Robert Roode or James Storm?
Storm begs off in the... What the hell?
He just hit Abyss. He just crushed him. He just set him up. He got Abyss to buy into them two working together and then took advantage of the opportunity and creamed him with the chair.
How about the reaction from both James Storm and Robert Roode? Beer Money, at first they couldn't believe that chair shot, but now they realize that if Abyss is bleeding, that they're going to win the match, and Rudy Charles calls for the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are your winners, the team of Beer Money Incorporated.
Abyss busted wide open on the forehead there as you saw the blood on the towel of Rudy Charles. Now you just see it pouring down his face as Matt Morgan gets the revenge he was seeking.
Beer Money Incorporated steals one, but the bigger story is that the relationship, the friendship, the tag team partners, Matt Morgan and Abyss are history.
Oh, now look at this. Matt Morgan just going right over and just continuing the beating, kicking the head, smashing the head. I mean, he's just taking out every frustration he's ever had as Abyss is helpless. He never saw Matt Morgan hitting him with the chair, and then to have this happen and just look at the blood. Oh, this is awful. Stop. Somebody stop this.
Well, Matt Morgan obviously not satisfied with the pain that he's already inflicted, with the blood flowing out of the head of Abyss.
Oh, it's a faucet pouring out. Oh, my God. Well, you heard Matt Morgan. You did this, not me. As he's, oh, another chair shot. Come on. Oh, it's sickening, Mike.
Did this, Abyss.
Sensational, Charmel, and I'm here with Matt Morgan. Now, Matt, tonight you're going to have perhaps the toughest match of your career. I mean, straight from the Keebler factory. The Maple Leaf Muscle, Petey Williams himself. Now, if that isn't bad enough, Petey's going to be forced to tie one hand behind his back. Now, pray tell me, how are you going to climb that mountain?
I know. Well, Sharma, let me just start it like this. This year has already been a very challenging yet rewarding year for Matt Morgan. I mean, first, I get asked to be the biggest, the physically biggest American Gladiator in the history of the show. Then, I get asked to have my very DNA digitally sequenced and sent to the International Space Station, marking me really as the true modern-day genetic freak that I really am. Proving what I've been trying to say all along, that I really am the DNA of TNA. But tonight, this challenge easily trumps all of those. Easily. I mean, think about it. You mean to tell me I've got to march down that aisle and man up and step through those ropes and go face to face, eye to, well, kneecap in the case of Petey Williams. But, I mean, seriously, damn them main event mafia. Damn them! Seriously, Petey, I've got news for you. I don't care if you have one arm or two arms tied behind your back. I have sympathy for no man. Just ask Abyss. And Abyss, I know you're at home holed up in your cave like the big fat Neanderthal you are. And I want you to watch this and use this as a little test of what you're going to see out of me at Against All Odds. Because I'll promise you one thing, Abyss. You're gonna finally figure out in that big dumb box of rocks up here what makes the Blueprint the most genetically jacked, athletically stacked giant walking today.
All right, rednecks and white trash. This next match is scheduled for one fall. The stipulation is Petey Williams must have one arm tied behind his back. Introducing first, from Fairfield, Connecticut,
foot, 320 pounds. The blueprint, Matt Morgan. He's gonna come out. He's all down. He's ready to do his thing. What do you think about? What do you think about Matt Morgan?
Way too much oil.
I mean, Matt Morgan, this guy, he's a big guy. Matt Morgan, one thing I noticed, I've seen this guy train. I've seen him in the gym. He's a big guy. I've seen him in the ring. I've seen him do a lot of things. He's a big guy. Matt Morgan, one thing about him I know is he's a big guy.
So what you're basically saying then is Matt Morgan's a big guy.
Matt Morgan, he's a big guy. One thing I know about Matt Morgan, he's a big guy. And when you see this guy, you see something big. He's a big guy.
Here's a opponent representing TNA Frontline from that suckhole country that you call Canada.
Wow.
I want to say something to Barack Obama right now. Stop building the wall to keep the Mexicans out. Build a wall to keep those from Canada from getting in.
Anti-Canadian rhetoric.
I mean, you know, this guy, man, sometimes he goes a little out there.
Petey Williams.
There he is. He's coming out right there. He's a Maple Leaf. The muscle of Maple Leaf, is that it? The Maple Leaf
Who's
muscle.
going to tie his hand behind?
There he is. I mean, one thing about, look at Petey Williams, this guy, he's jacked. You know, and you can tell he still has a lot of admiration for his idol, Scott Steiner. He still wears the thing on his head, you know, so you know, he still want to come out pumped up. He still has the mustache and the little black gimmick right down the middle. After that beat down, you would think he'd want to go change up everything, but you can see he still loves Big Papa, if you know what I'm saying. There's something about that, something scary about that.
This is official handicap behind the back rope tape.
That's going to give Matt Morgan a little, maybe a half a point, maybe. Actually, we're going to get this thing started right now. Right now, Petey Williams, he's trying to figure out how he's going to do this thing right now, and the Matt Morgan is maybe underestimating him. He's in direct line for that little short drop kick. You know what I'm saying? That little 4-foot, 3-foot drop kick. You know, it's kind of like a 3-foot putt. It's kind of like a 3-foot putt. There it is, right there. He almost sank it for a birdie. He almost sank for a birdie. Right there, he's going for an eagle. Right there, he's going to try to get a hole in one with this big guy. Oh, wow, he moved it right there. Oh, he little right hand, those little right hands right there. Oh, yeah. Big giant with those right hands. You got to hit it with something big right there. He's going to, he'll throw himself over the top rope. He might even just pin himself and give him a chance. If Petey Williams can just hold on for a minute, he can get a win. If he can just hold on, you know, if he can just, you know, keep the space in between, Matt Morgan might just disqualify himself or something. I've seen this guy, but right now he's just stalking.
Those right hands having no effect on him.
Oh, right now he's going to hit him.
Too much.
He's going to hit him with that big choke slam. But Williams, one thing about Williams, this guy got a lot of heart. I mean, the main event Mafia is beating this guy down. He just keep coming back. He wants. I mean, come on, man. Main event Mafia might could use somebody in the group like this guy, this Petey Williams. I mean, they need a lot of dishwashing. They need car driving. They need workout tips.
One thing about Morgan is he's a big guy.
One thing about Morgan, though, he's a big guy. He's got a lot of pressure. I mean, one thing, he throw that clothesline. He got 300 pounds behind it. He's going with those back elbows. He's going with those back elbows. He's going with those quick back elbows. Oh, he's just going to hit him. Come on, referee. You got to do your damn job. You got to get in there and kill that guy. He can't hit those guys with those back elbows like that. That was too many shots. I mean, come on. If for God's sake, you might have to just stop it if you're going to do that. Referee, for God's sake, do so. Petey just came down from about 8 feet. You know, the 8-foot side slam right there. I don't want to see it. Wait a minute, he might hit him with that 7-foot headbutt. He got a 7-foot headbutt. It is unbelievable. I'm telling you, that 7-foot headbutt from Matt Morgan. I seen it pin guys. Sometimes them pin himself, but when that's another story, Matt Morgan right now, he said he wanted to call from the main event Mafia. I don't know. I mean, he's talking to you, Chet Levin. Why is he asking you about main event Mafia? I'm talking about
I believe he's actually asking Scott Steiner.
I'm Black Snow. Black Stone.
With his arm behind him, could lead to rotator cuff injury.
Oh, my God, yeah, that could take a man out right there. We're right here in the Impact Zone. We're live, and Petey Williams is holding on, man. He's holding on. He's trying to suck it. It's like David against Goliath. You know what I mean? This guy's he's climbing that ladder right now. He may be on the 5th or 6th rung. He's trying to get up top, and right now Matt Morgan is just trying to hold him down. I mean, what the hell? What's going on?
Matt Morgan has any regrets of that tattoo on his back?
Oh, wait a minute.
Just ask him.
What the hell's going on right now? I mean, he's got. Wait a minute. Wait, what just happened right there? Petey Williams, he tried to play a little trick right here. That's the oldest trick in the book, man. Come on, man. But I'm going to tell you that Matt Morgan, he'll fall for it, though. I mean, man, it's the oldest trick in the book, but Matt Morgan, like I say, he's a big guy right now. Oh, he's going off on him. Fish don't buy. Fish don't buy. Fish don't buy right there. Oh, yeah, with that big fly burrito. He hit with that big fly burrito right there. Oh, another big fly burrito. He caught it with it right there. That had a little sauce on it. This time he's going to go up top. He's going to plow it. Oh, here comes Matt Morgan. He almost threw himself on top. But wait a minute. He's setting himself up for it. Oh. What do you call that right there? That's that knee buster, knee jaw buster. He call that right now. He's gonna fly right there. He's gonna get caught up in the lights. Yeah, I mean, don't get caught up in the lights, kid. Lose your balance right there. Oh, he caught it right on the chin, right on the medulla oblongata, right on the medulla. Oh, what the hell is going on? He just caught Big Papa. He dropped. What the hell? This is Tommy right there. He's making a mistake right there. He's making a big mistake. He's making a big mistake right there because Big Papa didn't have anything to do with this thing. Matt Morgan goes right ahead. Oh, Matt Morgan got him with that double pull back.
You can say what you want to Matt Morgan's big, but he's also kind of bad. I would not want to take that boot.
Matt Morgan, this guy just went to the pay window. He just got paid a whole lot of money right there. That just moved him up the ladder. You know, right there, that might have put him in line. That might have put him in line for a time shot or something. You know, one of these titles right here, running around with Matt Morgan.
Looks like he's putting him in a finish me move here.
Wait a minute now. I think he's trying to work himself into that mafia group, that mafia faction.
The psychology of the night is to hurt your opponent.
Oh, he got it with the blueprint bomb. He got it with that blueprint bomb. That wasn't necessary. He did not do that to him. Made him in mafia already done up this guy. What the hell?
I mean, you think after the beating he took, he wouldn't be back, but he's back. So you got to see a lot about the heart of young Petey Williams, who cost me $1,000.
Look at this right here. Look at Big Papa's going to stretch him. He's going to put him in that camp sludge. He's going to stretch this kid. He's going to stretch this kid here. What the hell is going on? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Oh, what the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on? Oh, hell. It looks like Booker T's coming up. Booker T's trying to get up from the back.
Of course, I would join in the fray if it wasn't for this staph infection in my elbow. And come on.
Yes. Booker T's beating up everybody in the ring. Boom. Booker T just got with a big shot in the jaw. Boom. Booker T with another big shot in the jaw. Boom. Big Booker. Booker T just pulled Creed up. Booker T is pulling Creed up right now. He's going to hit him with that big thrust kick. Oh. Booker T just caught Creed with that big thrust kick. What the hell is going on? There's a lot of mayhem out here. He's looking at Petey Williams. He sees Petey standing there. Petey's down. He's dogging him. He's got a big kick set up. Where he's going to catch him at. He's going to get...
Well, it looks like the Main Event Mafia continues.
Booker T's the man.
And the Impact.
What the hell is...
All the Rocky movies are my favorites. I like every single one. I can watch Rocky 1 through Rocky 5 in the matter of one day. I enjoy every Rocky movie. When I was in high school, I was an All-American football and basketball player. And then I went to play college basketball and college football at the same time as well. And I had to try out with the Indiana Pacers and Toronto Raptors and things like that. But my heart really wasn't in it. My heart was, I really wanted to be a pro wrestler. My most memorable moment in my life is easily getting married to my wife. She's my college sweetheart. My wife her name is Larissa Morgan, and she's a Hawaiian Filipino woman who was born and raised in Hawaii. And I met her in my very first class I ever took when I was in college. And we became girlfriend, boyfriend, and we've been together for 11 years, I'd say. And we've been married now for 4. And it's the smartest move I've ever made in my life. Secondly, other than getting married to the woman of my dreams, my wife, was easily graduating college 5th of my class and graduating summa magna cum laude when I was out in college in Hawaii. is by far, academically speaking, the biggest achievement of my entire life, and something I feel very proud of. Growing up and having ADD, being diagnosed with ADD from age 5 and on, to graduate fifth in your class to me is a very big deal and something I take very serious and take a lot of pride in.
And the Monster Abyss has got trash cans full around ringside. Steiner cuts him off, and now trying to take out the Monster early on.
I'll tell you what, though, how about Mick Foley coming in with LAX, coming in with Abyss, and kind of getting this ship back righted up as Team 3D was getting beat down by the main event Mafia, and now things are going to turn because Kurt Angle. And let's talk about that situation where he's putting the handicap match on Sting. You got to know there's some psychology there as he's trying to set Sting up. You think there's some friction going on between Sting and Kurt, but I like what Mick Foley did. Kurt's going to have to defend 2-on-1 himself against LAX.
Well, you're right. All in anticipation of the big showdown and against all odds, the four-way match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Off the series of clotheslines, Steiner slowly makes his way up in the corner, and here comes the charging 350-pound, 6'8" monster, and he just barreled him over.
Well, you could just see in just his attitude alone that Abyss is getting back. He's reverting. He's got that chair in his hand. He used to be afraid to hold it in his hand. Now, after what Blueprint Matt Morgan did to him last week, splitting that head open, I think he realizes he has no choice. He has to become that monster. He has to become that man that is afraid of no pain whatsoever. And you can see Scott Steiner trying to get some weapons, but he can't use them.
It's against the rules. Mick Foley laid down the law earlier in this hardcore match. Abyss can use any of the weapons he chooses. Scott Steiner cannot use any of them.
Scott Steiner, I think, just trying to find some way to get out of there, but oh, right into the bell! He just smashed his head right into the bell as they knock over the table that holds it as Abyss in total control right now. And you know, the cliche rang his bell, but that's exactly what happened.
Definitely, the old monster is back. There goes Steiner. You see our Spanish broadcast position over there, and Steiner set up against the wall. Abyss measures, gets that adrenaline flowing, and as he turns around, he's going to charge it. Big pop-up pop, and Steiner moves out of the way. He went right through the wall.
He just smashed right through the wall as Scott Steiner had just enough presence of mind.
Don't go anywhere. When we return to Impact, more of Scott Steiner and Abyss, hardcore rules. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Impact, and Don, right before we went to break, the Monster Abyss went right through the wall.
Well, this is how things turned around for Scott Steiner, and he needed this kind of luck as Abyss was focused on just putting Scott Steiner out of his misery, charged like a raging bull, but Steiner able to get out of the way, and Abyss went right through the wall, and Scott Steiner's turned it around. Tell you what, at Against All Odds, we're going to get to see Scott Steiner and Petey Williams one-on-one. I was impressed with how Petey Williams handled himself with one arm tied behind his back. And again, it was a situation where Scott Steiner got involved and it caused him to go right into that carbon footprint. But I'll tell you something, I think that's going to be one interesting matchup.
This is what we anticipated. Intimidation from Steiner, but he turns around, and Abyss put the big fist directly into the chair, and down goes Big Papa Pump.
I'll tell you what, he didn't get to use the chair as a weapon because Abyss turned it right against him. And now Abyss has got that big steel garbage can. Oh, right on the head. Crush a mundo. 1, 2, go.
That was the knockout blow, didn't you? That big trash can shot to the head, and amazingly, Steiner able to avoid the 3 count.
I mean, we knew he was hard-headed, but good Lord, able to get your shoulder up on that, that's pretty amazing. It really is. And you can see Steiner, though, bleeding on the forehead where that trash can hit him. So he uses the low blow, the kick right behind him into the groin.
Boy, the low blow by Steiner turns things immediately in his favor, and there goes Abyss, head first, face first, right into the chair. Check out the head of Scott Steiner.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Scott Steiner credit. It was Abyss that set that chair up in the corner, so you can't say that Scott Steiner pretty much used the weapon. Oh, no, he's got the ring bell again. You know, he felt it earlier. He wants Abyss to feel it. It always reminds me of Genesis when Kurt Angle picked up that ring bell and smashed Jeff Jarrett, so we know the damage it can do.
Referee Johnson insisting that Steiner not use that timekeeper's bell. Abyss back up, going to try and, well, he takes that bell, tosses it right down. Here comes the choke slam, and Steiner right through the trash can.
I mean, look how he flattened the trash can. 1, 2, oh, unbelievable. Steiner again gets the shoulder up in time.
Boy, Abyss reverting back to his old ways with the the use of the weapons. You see the blood flowing from the head of Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, but the monster just cannot put Big Papa Pump away.
Well, and that's a testament to Scott Steiner. I mean, this guy's taken some abuse there, and he's still walking. I mean, barely. But Abyss, the thing I like is that expression in Abyss's face. You can feel him reverting back to his old ways. Every time he gets something in his hands, he wants to use it and smash you with it. And that's what, oh, there's that steel pipe. Caught the bell, and they're disqualifying the match because he used the pipe as a weapon.
Referee Slick Johnson asking for the bell, but of course you can't ring the bell. The timekeeper doesn't have it. The match is over because of the disqualification. And look out! Wow!
I'll tell you what,
Well,
it's broken down now.
This is the unpredictable Scott Steiner. Do we all know? Oh, God!
Holy cow. Folks, if you're in the crowd, be careful. Keep your eye. I know, but I'm just saying, I worry about everybody's well-being when he gets like this.
Steel chair shot! Oh, one to the back, that one to the head. Oh, and another one.
Unbelievable. It's Abyss. That's got to be taking him back to last week. Those flashbacks of Matt Morgan doing it to him, and now look at this. Steiner using it. What? What? Suicide?
You see that the lights have gone out in the impact zone. And there he comes. Here comes Suicide.
I'll tell you what, not a minute too soon is Suicide able to get into the ring as Scott Steiner was taking it to him, and now Steiner looking around, not knowing what to do. He charges him, but look at Suicide.
It's been several weeks since we've seen Suicide here in TNA. This is his return, and just in time to save the Monster Abyss.
I'll tell you what, he put that elbow right into that bloodied head of Scott Steiner, and now look at Suicide taking over. Oh, putting it into the turnbuckle.
Scott Steiner taken down, taken out by the returning Suicide, this very mysterious character from TNA Impact's video game.
Well, we haven't seen him in weeks and weeks, but Suicide's back. And you know Abyss has got to be happy because Steiner was taking over, but Steiner didn't know what to do with Suicide.
Suicide back, and again the lights go out here in the impact zone. Boy, just in the nick of time to save the Monster Abyss from that brutal beating when the lights come back on.
Just like that, he's going.
The winner of the match as a result of a disqualification, the Monster Abyss!
Hardcore weapons matchup via disqualification goes to the Monster Abyss. Mick Foley made it to thwart the efforts of the Main Event Mafia. Their total takeover tonight here on Impact, and in the end, via disqualification, the Monster Abyss is victorious. Odds. The former tag team partners collide one-on-one. Let's look at the history between Matt Morgan and the Monster.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Fairfield, Connecticut, the Blueprint, Matt Morgan!
The team of Matt Morgan and Abyss seem to have it all. The most physically opposing pair ever to join forces in TNA. Potentially a destructive force. Keyword, potentially. The Blueprint ran out of patience when it came to communicating with Abyss, and it resulted in a very violent split that we saw on Impact.
His opponent from Detroit, Michigan, the War Machine, Rhino!
You know, normally you think of Rhino against Matt Morgan and you think of two big giants in that ring, but let's face it, Rhino is still not healthy after what happened to him at Genesis. That beatdown that the Main Event Mafia gave him. Oh, he showed heart. He showed up bloody and beaten, but this guy just wants to get back in that ring. He wants to lead the front line so bad, especially now with AJ out. And think of all the other members that have been taken out, but I'm just not sure he's physically ready, Mike.
That really is the story, the aftermath of these repeated beatings of the TNA frontline members by the Main Event Mafia. You mentioned AJ Styles, still on the sidelines. We saw Samoa Joe promising his return to TNA at the conclusion of last week's Impact broadcast. Jeff Jarrett hasn't been heard from since Genesis as well.
Oh, nice clothesline right there by Matt Morgan. just put it on point as the War Machine just buckled underneath it. You can see he just doesn't have that same fire. And Matt Morgan, well, he's just on fire.
Yeah, when you're not 100%, the last person you want to face is somebody like Matt Morgan. 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, so agile for a man his size, and it's on display right there. Side Russian leg sweep takes Rhino, and he just drove the back of his head right into the mat. Think about Rhino and all the problems that he has had through the years when it comes to his neck.
And I remember seeing him come down the ramp at Genesis with the bandages bloodied all wrapped around his head. So obviously that's the target that Matt Morgan is focusing on, causing damage to the head, and it's working so far. As you can see, Rhino just kind of discombobulated out there like he's just not sure of himself. And Matt Morgan, well, he's going to take advantage of that.
Dr. Youngblood, I believe that's the physician that performed the neck surgery on Rhino, as he's able to kick out War Machine, stops the count of the referee before 3.
I want to tell you about the TNA Respect Tour. Tomorrow night, it's in Charlottesville, Virginia at the John Paul Jones Arena, and it's coming to a city near you. So go to TNAWrestling.com and find out when you can see the Respect Tour.
And while you're at our website, TNAWrestling.com, find out how you can be a part of the great crowds on hand here at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida at Universal Studios. You can also see the details on how you can be a part of a live crowd for Against All Odds, our pay-per-view this Sunday, and it's all at TNAWrestling.com.
You see the War Machine trying to mount some kind of a charge here, and that's how you do it. Comes flying off the ropes, sends that big body into Matt Morgan. I mean, and there's a nice shoulder block just to take the air out of him.
And as Morgan comes out of the corner, Rhino takes him, plants him with the belly-to-belly suplex. But you know, these moves of Rhino, they just don't have that usual power, Don, that we've seen from the War Machine, and it's all because of the injuries at the hands of the Main Event Mafia. Went for the gore. You saw the leapfrog and the carbon footprint from the blueprint.
I'll tell you, he just turned right into the carbon footprint. As Big Matt Morgan, one of the few people that size that could leapfrog the War Machine, and now he's coming over here to the table, and he's grabbing the chair and going back to the ring.
And here comes Morgan with that steel chair. This can't be good for the War Machine. Rhino going to position the chair down and obviously going to try and do more damage to the neck.
Oh, he wants to hit that elevator right here and put him face first on the chair, but here comes the Monster Abyss.
Former tag team partner and the man that he will meet this Sunday at Against All Odds. Here comes Abyss down the ramp, and he's got those 2 bags in his hands.
I'll tell you what, though, it's good to see that old Abyss bringing those bags of tacks with him to the ring. I mean, if it kind of became his signature, it's that monster that's just not afraid to do anything, try anything. It's good to see that Abyss back in the ring.
Charges into the corner, smashes right into the blueprint. Morgan sent for the ride, shot off into the ropes. Clothesline missed, but now Black Hole Slam didn't.
I'll tell you, he just hit it perfectly, and you can just see it in Abyss's face. And now he's pointing to the bags as he wants to continue the damage. I mean, think of what these two are going to do to each other this Sunday at Against All Odds.
You talked about how the weapons were back. Abyss for months, seeing his therapist, decided that he wasn't going to rely on weapons any longer. I think that's all out the window. Don talked about the tacks, and there they are.
Sometimes you got to go to the old and the familiar, and that's what it is with him right now. Abyss knows that he's one of those that can stand unbearable pain better than anybody, and he's wanting to inflict it now on Matt Morgan.
Wants to choke slam him right into the tacks, but Morgan puts on the brakes, slams it in reverse, and slides out of the ring and heads up the ramp. He wants nothing to do with the monster tonight. He knows that they will meet this Sunday at Against All Odds.
Well, he's going to be facing a different Abyss this Sunday night. One thing you can bank on, it's going to be brutal, it's going to be violent, and no holds barred.
As we saw moments ago on Impact, the monster and his weapons are back. And then during the commercial break, he added to the tacks. He threw in kendo sticks. He threw in chairs, trash cans, and then
there it is, that broken glass that was in the other bag.
Matt, allow me to introduce you to my real best friend.
is not Chris. His name is Abyss. Matt, I have endured a lot. Abusive fathers, prison time, psychiatric treatment, and even a little bit of shock therapy. But Matt, you knew how delicate my situation was. You befriended me with a false sense of trust that does not exist in Abyss's world. You call yourself the blueprint, the DNA of TNA. Well, man, let me show you what happens when you add the Abyss chromosome into the mix. You get tables and packs and tears and blood and violence and death. You know that old saying, Matt? You hurt the ones you care about the most. Well, this Sunday, I'm gonna prove those words never more true. Gonna kick your ass!
The level of violence, the level of brutality is going to be absolutely off the charts this Sunday at Against All Odds. Abyss versus Matt Morgan.
I mean, this is the Abyss that we know. Someone who has no regard for pain whatsoever. And that visual of those tacks sticking in his hands and the blood running down. Oh, I wouldn't want to be Matt Morgan this Sunday at Against All Odds.
It's okay, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine, Abyss. You're gonna call your therapist.
The bloody tacks and glass has prompted Lauren to try to calm down the monster. Good luck when it comes to calming him down Sunday at Against All Odds when he faces Matt Morgan.